In the darkness above the rust-red sands of Mars, an unfamiliar visitor arrived, a ghost from the gulf between the stars, captured as a fleeting streak of light in the silent watch of Perseverance's robotic gaze. The newest images released by NASA showing interstellar comet 3I/Atlas as it swept past Mars just last week have sent a shockwave through the hearts and minds of skywatchers and scientists alike. There's an electric thrill in realizing what exactly these photographs represent, a raw glimpse of a wanderer that does not originate from our solar system, traced against the ancient, cratered landscapes of the red planet. As we peer into these snapshots, we are reminded that, out there, beyond the familiar orbits of planets and moons, the cosmos has many more stories to reveal, stranger, more surprising, and even more beautiful than we ever dared imagine. The reaction, as the Perseverance rover's images began to ripple across social media, was immediate and visceral. The world watched, mesmerized, as 3I/Atlas appeared to streak through the Martian sky, its strange, elongated form captured by the right navigation camera from Jezero crater. Within hours, the raw, unprocessed images migrated from NASA's digital archives to computer screens everywhere. One of these frames, now etched into the collective imagination of those who followed the saga of interstellar visitors, was quickly elevated to NASA's Image of the Week. It's almost poetic, a robot on a distant planet capturing the passage of the celestial trespasser, both of them tiny ambassadors of intelligence and curiosity, crossing paths so far from Earth. But what the images revealed, now that's where the story turns mesmerizing. Across the globe, amateur astronomers, artists, and the ever-passionate denizens of cosmic mystery took to social media, each putting forth their impressions, their skepticism, their awe. Leo Orwelliano, an ex-user who has been tracking every twist and turn of this enigmatic tale, summed up the confusion at the heart of the discourse. 3I/Atlas spotted again, and this time it doesn't look like a comet, he wrote. A perfect glowing cylinder drifting across the Martian sky. No dust plume, no fragmentation, just structure. Do you realize this is happening right now at 68 kilometers per second? What are we really looking at here? The questions multiplied as screenshots, renderings, and even whimsical digital paintings of 3I/Atlas's shimmering cylinder shape flooded feeds. Some, reaching for meaning, juxtaposed the streak with images of ancient cave art, an elliptical icon thousands of years old, and the famous recent photograph from Perseverance. Perhaps, as one user, Camila Diaz, expressed so poetically, from cave walls to telescopes, our eyes never left the stars. 3I/Atlas is the echo of an ancient promise. There's something deeply evocative about that connection, a thread stretching from the earliest stargazers to the present, as we gaze in wonder at the same heavens. With all this buzz, speculation was inevitable, swelling with the pace and drama of the 21st century digital conversation. Was this something more than a comet, some pondered? Could it be, as has been speculated for other interstellar objects before, a form of alien technology? Was there a hidden structure to 3I/Atlas, a metallic backbone, perhaps even a message drifting wordless through deep time? Enthusiasm for such dazzling possibilities is understandable. After all, this is only the third interstellar object ever witnessed zooming through our solar system, and each one of those travelers has challenged our preconceptions, hinting there may be more in the interstellar dark than icy debris alone.
Yet, amid the excitement, careful voices from the scientific community stepped in with clear explanations. With scientific rigor and a touch of disappointment for those hoping to uncover an artifact from another civilization, experts pointed to a much simpler explanation. The peculiar, elongated appearance of 3I/Atlas in the Perseverance images was, in reality, an artifact, not of the comet's true shape, but of the physics of imaging itself. To see the universe is always to wrestle with the limitations and marvels of our instruments. At the time Perseverance's right navcam captured these images, it was October 4, 2133:39, Martian local solar time. By then, 3I/Atlas was already 38 million kilometers from the Martian surface, a staggering gulf, one that makes the faint streak in the sky all the more miraculous. There was, simply put, no possible way for the camera to resolve any true details of the comet's shape. What we saw reflected, not the comet as it is, but how it was experienced through the lens, a fleeting stroke of light made long by movement and exposure. Here, the investigation of Harvard's own Avi Loeb offers a fascinating window into the science underlying the magic. Loeb, no stranger to open-minded speculation, he has himself pursued the hypothesis that interstellar visitors could, one day, be evidence of technology, dug into the gritty mathematics and engineering behind the image. The Perseverance NavCam's angular resolution is 0.33 milliradians per pixel, translating to 12,500 kilometers for each pixel at the 250 million distance of 3I bar Atlas during the flyby. Do the math, and the streak in the image easily amounts to around 50,000 kilometers long, a line written wide across the Martian night, but far outsizing the comet's actual diameter, which NASA's earlier observations from SphereX pinned at a mere 46 kilometers. How could this happen? The answer lay in both the high relative velocities and the way the final image was assembled. Mars was orbiting the Sun at roughly 24 kilometers every second. 3I bar Atlas, by contrast, swept against the flow at 67 kilometers per second. Their combined motion meant that over the stacked exposure time, roughly 10 minutes, what had been a brief flash in a single frame became, through the accumulation of hundreds of images, a bold stripe across the sky. As Loeb puts it, 3I bar Atlas would have looked like a circular spot for an individual snapshot, which, at a maximum exposure of just over 3 seconds, would capture only about 300 kilometers of movement, only a slim fragment of what the limited NavCam resolution would otherwise blur to nothingness. By stacking these images, NASA's engineers were able not just to enhance the faint light of a distant visitor, but to make a visual artifact that, while arresting, points directly back to the heart of scientific investigation, the challenge of interpretation. The comet's apparent length was not just an illusion. It was a triumph of ingenuity and technology, using composite imagery to reveal what the naked eye, human or robotic, could never see. Of course, this isn't the first time such cosmic illusions have caught the imagination of the public, and even fooled trained observers, at least temporarily. Earlier this year, the Very Large Telescope in Chile's Atacama Desert, another marvel dedicated to probing the dark, caught a sequence of images of 3I bar Atlas on its approach. That series too showed a strange dotted line, not a singular shape. In both cases, what was being seen was the passage of a point-like source over time as the camera observed and the world turned. It's a reminder of how every great discovery must be scrutinized and re-examined through the best tools we have, always alert to the ways in which our techniques can shape what we see. It's a humbling lesson, and also a beautiful one. The universe reminding us that its true nature is often stranger and simpler than our preconceptions. But the wonder doesn't end there. Even as scientists confirmed that what we were seeing was not necessarily a metallic cylinder or a relic from a distant civilization, they noted the real marvels that 3I/Atlas brings with it. This is an object that possesses, according to recent studies, several peculiar and puzzling properties. It is notably massive for an interstellar comet, with observations suggesting an unusually high metal content. Every new piece of data is a piece in a haunting cosmic puzzle, one that tells us, again and again, that there's so much more to learn about what is drifting between the stars. And soon, the next chapter is likely to unfold. Although the ongoing US government shutdown has delayed the release of some fresh NASA data, anticipation is building for new photographs from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter's HiRISE camera. Imagine, we may be on the cusp of the clearest look yet at 3I/Atlas, a sight of an interstellar traveler caught by an instrument circling high over the Martian landscape. There's something almost poetic about the possibility. Star chasers, robots, distant comets, and crimson worlds, all connected in a single, momentary alignment. Even as the data keep us moored to reality, the conversation, across platforms, across cultures, across time, reminds us that awe is an essential part of discovery. From the poetry of social media to the equations on Avi Loeb's chalkboard, the story of 3I/Atlas brushes up against the limits of knowledge and the vast potential of the universe itself. Is it just a comet after all? Almost certainly yes. And yet, in its journey, in our acts of observation and interpretation, in the brilliant light that streaks across alien skies, we are shown that even the simplest truths of the cosmos can feel like miracles. So as Perseverance and its scientific partners keep watch with unblinking eyes, and as the data continue to pour down from Mars and beyond, we are left with the familiar, exhilarating sense that the cosmos has not finished surprising us. Interstellar objects like 3I/Atlas remind us that our solar system is not an isolated orb in a sea of darkness. It's a crossroads, a stage for fleeting visitors from other suns, bearing secrets, questions, and unfathomable tales. Let us continue to marvel at the wonders the universe lays at our feet, and not just for what they are, but for the possibilities they evoke, mysteries ancient and new, waiting to be unraveled. Keep gazing up with us as we follow the journeys of wanderers like 3I/Atlas. For every image, every unexplained shape, every shifting light in the night sky is an invitation to keep searching, to keep questioning, and to never, ever lose our sense of cosmic wonder.